Ladies and gentlemen, before the iPod, before the MP3, we had MIDI files. And if you had an eFET, if you wanted music, that's what you used. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the world's wokest warrior, primitive-sided, toxic fanboy aligned with the like-minded Tony Tone Deaf rocking with you. I want to welcome one and all to the Clown World Review, and I am hosting a YouTube live stream. Thank you all for being here. Little late. Man, the comment section is already cracking. The Clown World Review, welcome. And it's all good if you're going to be a few minutes late, brother. So is I. Today we're going to go ahead and cover the week of February 3rd, 1997. 2 hours in Nitro, also 2 hours of Raw, and next week will be 2 hours of Raw as well. I think they're really testing the waters because in about another month and a half, they're going to move over to Raw is War and the War Zone. And from there, we really take off. Then next January 1998, Nitro's going to go to 3 hours and good times from there. So, welcome everybody. Great to see all your smiling faces, and let's go ahead and without further ado jump into the show. So we're gonna introduce our wonderful panel here tonight, and let me say first too, happy birthday to the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Vinnie Tartamella. Not sure if he'll be here tonight or not. He might, going to celebrate at the Olive Garden or, somewhere authentic like that. So, if I don't see you, Vinny, happy birthday, brother. We love you. And I hope it's a memorable one. I hope it's legendary for you, bro. And I hope you get laid too. So, first up on the docket, he's got the red, white, and blue running through his veins. Like he's a post-transition Demi Lovato, and then, transitioned, but then went back, reverted, He was born and raised in the USA. Ladies and gentlemen,
Booker T, hair done by Whoopi, shaming man, still a pussy.
Etep Wokuian.
I'm finna be where the people are. What's going on, everybody? Hail the chat. Hail Tony. Thank you for having me, brother. I'm looking forward to talking some wrestling tonight, and I don't know where that came from, but I like it. Could be tiny orange man with tiny hands. I don't know, but what? Stone Cold. Man, I'm looking forward to this. I got to see Nitro. I didn't get to see Raw. I might have that playing on the screen in front of me while we talk about it, because the way you described it, it reminds me, I found the pictures in Ticket Stub the other day from my very first live event, which was in 1980. Was it 88? I think it was June of 88 in at the Wexford Civic Center in Cadillac, Michigan.
Nice.
And that dark old, and that arena was old then. And it's still around today, which is cool. But yeah, man, there's no feeling like that kind of atmosphere for a wrestling show.
Yeah. We got a little taste of that during Raw, and we'll get into that once we get there. So, yeah, brother, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me, man.
Hell yeah. Next up on the docket.
If you actually think that I was just the right gay guy, gay guy, gay guy, gay guy, gay guy, gay guy,
super fan.
That's right. I am here. I'm loving it. Thank you, Tony. Always glad to be here. Happy birthday, Vinny. I hope you're out there having a good one. Can't wait to talk. Unlike Etep, I did watch Monday Night Raw, and yes, I man, I'm telling you, it just reminded me of going to the live events back in the day.
Dude, it was cool. It was like watching 1980s WWF with the 1990s cast. Just good times. Back in a time when the United States was actually ahead of the world, in technology and just about every department. So when WWF would travel international, including just right across the border to Canada, there was always a difference in production value. And yes, this Raw tonight that we're going to cover emanates from Canada. I don't know. I was about to say Africa. It emanates from Canada, and there's a bit. I didn't even remember it would do that from Canada. I just remember when they'd be in the UK, there'd be a bit of a production value difference, you know. But yeah, it was a fun show, and it felt like an event, you know. Like, I've actually got to check to see when that was recorded, because I don't think it was live, but it looked like it may have like taken place over the weekend. There wasn't the normal Raw setup. They had the banners in the corner. Yeah, it was taped on January 31st, 1997.
Okay.
So that would have been what, like Thursday, Friday night.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good time, and it had a good feel to it. So I really enjoyed that. Yeah, and they were in the Sky Dome in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. So yeah, I mean, I guess we may as well jump into it. Not too many big stories coming out over the past week. We just got CM Punk. He's suspended. We talked about that. Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, CM Punk. I do want to mention a little bit on him, because damn, even if the fight didn't happen, like, stick a fork in the guy. It turns out, I thought he tore his pec during the fight, but he tore his pec towards the beginning of his match with John Moxley. Like,
oh jeez,
dude's more improved Chrome than Ahmed Johnson. Like, holy shit, bro. Like, they give you the title, you hurt yourself before you can even defend it, jumping into the audience, you break your fucking foot. Then you come back, they put on a little like BS match where he pretends to hurt his other foot. You know, the match lasts like 2 minutes, and then he actually gets in the ring at the pay-per-view to have a full-fledged match and injures himself again, like at the beginning of that match. Like, all right, dude, you're done. No more time. We can't put the title on you, because both times you've held it for hours before we had to strip you of it or get an interim champion. So
kind of makes his crazy speech make more sense now. He kind of went, Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah.
And now you kind of know why, because he's done. I mean, you're not going to... I never thought about AEW just because of CM Punk. It was because it was basically, as you know, competition for WWE, because let's face it, WWE has not been good for a long time. So... It was kind of, but it wasn't just because of Punk. It wasn't just one individual. Yeah. This isn't a Hulk Hogan here.
And the problem is, too, you don't want to go full WCW either, where one day you turn around and the main event's full of former WWF guys. And, CM Punk, I know he had a career before that in Ring of Honor, and it just, I'd rather see an MJF up there. Like Moxley, he was former WWF, but he never really got to main event how he should have. He never got to be the man. And, he was one of the first in AEW. So, Hail the Gap After Dark. Great to see you. Thank you for joining us. Yeah. So,
Hail Gap.
And speaking of WWF guys, I do think in that title tournament they're having now, Bryan Danielson's probably going to come out of that as champion, just because Mox just had the title. If it were up to me, they wouldn't have taken the title off Mox.
I agree.
Yeah.
I like Mox as, champ.
Yeah, he was in the middle of a great run. Then he, let's go ahead and drop it back to CM Punk, since he never really got his run. And guess what? I'm injured anyway.
An hour later.
Yeah. So it's like Moxley's the first ever two-time AEW champion, and it was cut short. And now CM Punk is the second two-time AEW champion. And Jesus, like, what did he... I mean, I know he had it for like a week the first time, but it's like, Jesus, dude, you had like in total a 36-hour title reign between the fucking two. Like, Jesus, bro. Hail
And
the
there you go,
Tree Rock
April, AJ,
Creations.
that's what you married.
Yeah.
Yeah. She chose that Huero.
Thank you, Tree Rock. Now, I'm going to be paying attention to my voice all fucking day.
Watch your inflection.
Yes. On a personal note as well, I'm very excited. Etep knows better than anybody, or as you may know him, Orange Man Rad. Jesus, since like spring, maybe June 2019, I have been waiting. Big Legend of Zelda fan here. Big Legend of Zelda fan. I have been waiting for this Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild sequel. They announced it was in production in like June 2019. Since then, I mean, they have trickled just the littlest bit of information. We got like a 90-second trailer when they announced it, and then nothing. Nothing till June 2021. 2 years later. And see, they have the same map, they have the same physics engine, a lot of the same concepts of the basically a lot of the infrastructure was already built from the first game because it's a direct sequel.
Cool.
Nothing for 2 years, and you're thinking this has got to be done soon. And then finally they give you a little 90-second trailer in June 2021. And it says it'll be out by 2022. Now, Zelda games are notorious for being delayed. So I saw the 2022, but no set date, no set month. And I'm like, we'll see. We'll see. So then they come out March this year. So we've gotten 2 like short 90-second like teaser trailers at this point. Then they come out in March this year and said, guess what? It's delayed. And we're like, fine, Nintendo, they'll have a direct in June, and we should get some info then because it's going to be an entire year. Then Nintendo didn't do any direct. And besides during the pandemic, Nintendo does a direct every June. It's like E3 season, you know, but they didn't do one. Not a first-party direct. So today, on this holiest today, Vinny's birthday, they held a Nintendo Direct, and even then, we barely got any info, but I got what I wanted. At least a name, title for the game, and a release date. And that was wrapped in, like, what, a 30-second trailer, 60-second trailer, really short trailer. Didn't give you much, but I'm happy. May 12th, 2023. We get The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, which I understand why they didn't want to stream the thing in England now. Get it. Get it. Queen dies.
Yep.
So, around May 2023, if I go off the map, if I disappear for a few weeks, y'all know what happened. Hail to Frankie Knows. How are you, sir? Hope you're doing well.
Disappear, sir. That's called content.
Bro, I'm thinking about starting like a dedicated Zelda channel too. You know, we're like, you know, yeah. I could talk about Zelda all day, so we better jump off that before I do.
Zelda Turtles fun. Yeah, back to the wrestling.
Yep.
But watching this, and now that we're about to talk about it, it's like we were all at the same paper, or you know, the same live event because we've all been to live events. And I'm sorry, it did. It did for Raw. It did. And I can say honestly, WCW did look a hell of a lot better than the Raw.
Yeah, but I like the feel better on Raw. And WCW was in what were they in? Memphis, Nashville? I think Memphis.
Let's see.
They were in Tennessee for sure. Let me check. I have it pulled up right here.
Mid-South Coliseum in Memphis.
Yeah, and last time they were there, they were throwing shade at Jerry Lawler. Like, hey, Jerry, thank you for helping us with this crowd. Y'all remember that?
Yep,
so
I do. I see what you're talking about with the aesthetic in the arena on Raw now. I got the opening to the show on. And the Austin and Hart altercation before the Austin and Vader match. Yeah, dude, the arena it looks like a house show.
Yeah.
It's
And
freaking great.
Touching
Yeah.
on Frankie's comment real quick,
Yep.
these people are like a fucking scared animal in a corner. Like, they're willing to do anything right now, but it's not a good precedent, rating your
No.
political opponents. And, if
she was on the other foot, it'd be being called Nazis and racists.
If politician A were to go out and stop riots, he would get called a fascist. And I say, let him call you. Would take all these names, wear them with a badge of honor. Screw
names
these
don't
people.
hurt.
But then politician B comes in and actually acts like a fascist. And, of course, his bots and followers are like, well, you shouldn't break the law then. Like, okay, so let's round up everyone that you idolize, motherfuckers. Of course, I'm talking about Nitro, everyone. So.
Oh yeah,
yep,
big time.
Talking about Nitro. I'm just saying, if you're gonna send the NWO to raid Roddy Piper after calling him a fascist, maybe you should look at Hollywood Hogan. All I'm saying.
Couldn't say it any better.
Right.
So, ladies and gentlemen, let's jump into tonight. Again, February 3rd, 1997, 2 days after my 15th birthday, except Raw was actually taped 1 day before my birthday, on my birthday eve. And Raw does come to you from Toronto, Ontario, Canada at the Sky Dome, which is interesting. This is going to be the year where you really get that weird time in wrestling where, depending on what country you were in, you were either a babyface or a heel, really spawning off Bret Hart, Yep. And his foes. So Monday Nitro is coming to you from Memphis, Tennessee, in the Mid-South Coliseum.
That was that was a nice arena, though. That was a nice venue.
Yep. Your WCW champions, World Heavyweight Champion Hollywood Hulk Hogan. Eddie Guerrero is your U.S. champion. The World Tag Team Champions, The Outsiders. Your World Television Champion, Lord Steven Regal. Your Cruiserweight Champion is Dean Malenko. And your Women's Champion, who you'll never see again, Akira Hakuto. Over on Raw, your World Champion, your WWF Champion is Shawn Michaels. Intercontinental Champion, Hunter Hearst Helmsley. And the Tag Team Champions, Owen Hart and Davey Boy Smith. Yes. Both shows are dome shows because the Mid-South Coliseum's kind of a dome, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
No, they were in the Georgia. No.
Okay. That's you're thinking Georgia Dome. Wait, no. It's just right. No, the Mid-South Coliseum is just a regular smaller arena.
Sorry, I'll explain it off the air. So,
well, I don't know. In 2022, you might be right with that statement. I'm just saying.
Vince wastes no time in taking a moment to brag that it's the biggest live audience for a Monday night show ever. Your hosts are Vince McMahon and good old JR, because where was Jerry Lawler? He didn't go to Canada. Maybe he was in Puerto Rico wrestling. Maybe he was kicking it with Tony Schiavone on Raw. Who knows? Now, this was Royal Rumble Raw. So what happens is this is a 2-hour show, but the hour before they showed the entire Royal Rumble 97 match uncut. So yeah, that's what happened. Good times. 3 hours of Raw that night. And
this was USA Network still, right?
Yeah.
They
They
didn't switch over to TNN
till 2001.
And then they went to Spike after that for a hot minute.
Well, TNN became Spike.
Oh, did it? Was that what happened? I can't remember because I kind of fell out for a minute
Network
there.
To Spike TV.
Yeah.
Yes. So Raw starts with Vader with Paul Bearer versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. Interesting match. They had some drama go down before the match even got underway. Bret Hart ran from the backstage out into the arena, started attacking Steve Austin. The referees, Pat Patterson, all the normies came in and broke up the fight. Then we go to commercial. Then when we come back, Austin and Vader wrestling in the ring. Yeah, so Steve Austin ends up giving the referee a stunner. Vader and Austin brawl on the floor, and the match is just thrown out after about 5 minutes. Really felt like a house show. Kind of felt like a house show match.
It did, especially because it was. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say it was. You have two big names that early in the card. Yeah, normally that is like it's either a dark match or a post show, or it's like this. And then, like I said, you have the whole environment around it. And why is JR walking out with the Nation? That's kind of funny. But anyway,
on commentary also.
Yeah,
it's almost like it's pre-recorded.
Right, crazy bastards. And speaking of dark matches on the show, you had Rocky Maivia versus Rikishi, the Sultan, in a dark match.
Good times. So,
hey, Uncle.
Yeah, like speaking of teleporting commentators, Vince McMahon who's in the skybox. They're not next to the ring. They're in the skybox. Wink, wink. Vince McMahon then teleports down to the audience somehow, and he interviews Peter Wilson, better known as the star of La Femme Nikita, which follows Monday Night Raw at 10 p.m. Vince says she could kick Robin Hood's butt, and that's a shot at Nitro, where, if you guys remember a few weeks ago, they had to cut in and out of the main event of Nitro. They would show the main event during the commercials of the New Adventures of Robin Hood on TNT.
Because it was Hogan and the Giant.
Yeah, yep. So then Vince teleports back up to the skybox, and we shoot over to Monday Nitro. Monday Nitro begins with Hogan and Ted DiBiase with Vincent heading out to the ring. Tonight will be one of the most important nights in the history of the sport, because Roddy Piper will be stopping by to answer the challenge to meet Hollywood Hogan at SuperBrawl for the WCW World Title. But when Piper gets to the building, Hogan says he'll go ahead and give him a title shot here tonight. Woo. Crowd goes nuts. Your opening bout on Monday Nitro is the Ultimo Dragon with Sonny Ono versus Ray Mendoza Jr. Ray Mendoza gets put away with a tiger suplex, and Ultimo Dragon nails him in about 3 minutes.
Ray Mendoza Jr., to those of us who may know, I had to look it up because the name was familiar. He is one of the famous Villanos. He was Villano 5. There's, the story of the Villanos. There was there was like 5 or 6 of them. Yeah, he was 5 because 4 and 5 used to team together in WCW, but one of them, I believe it was, broke their neck or their back and had to retire, and that was pretty much, I believe, the end of them up there. But yeah, this was Villano number 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, broken back or neck. Yeah, that's not a good thing.
So,
no, you're done, unless you're Kurt Angle.
Yep.
Yeah. So over on Raw, we get the debut, the WWF debut of D'Lo Brown as he walks out in the background with the Nation of Domination, accompanying Savio Vega to the ring to wrestle Too Cold Flash Funk. Flash Funk, kind of a new act. Vince wants to put him over, so we completely squash him right here. He did not a squash per se, but Savio Vega beat him in about 4 minutes. Vince is trying to make Savio look strong. Savio Vega just joined the Nation of Domination, so they're trying to keep some heat on him. So they, why not put him in the ring with like Jeff Hardy or someone at this time? Why squash Flash Funk when you're trying to get him over? I don't know. Yeah. So Yes, good times, good times, good times.
I mean, they like to pick on Disco. I mean, they could have just fed him Disco.
Why Disco when we could have Glacier versus Billy Kidman over on Nitro? Cryonic kick in 2 minutes. Billy Kidman goes down. Memphis was booing Glacier pretty well. Then Ted DiBiase and Six tell us to buy the NWO denim jacket for only $80 plus an extra $10 for shipping and handling. They're really pushing that NWO. I mean, they are pushing the NWO merchandise right now. Like every week, there's something fucking new.
That's the only way I'd wear a Canadian tuxedo nowadays is if it was an NWO jacket. I would rock one of those and not even think twice about it. I'm gonna see if I can find one on eBay actually.
It'd be nice if we could get it for that price too. Back then's price,
right?
Now,
it's probably like $400. All the Villanos were real brothers. They were the Mendoza family, and actually the one that hurt his neck is still wrestling to this day. I had to look it up.
So back over on Raw, we get Psycho Sid in his first Raw appearance since losing the WWF Championship at the Royal Rumble. He will be facing current champion Shawn Michaels in a rematch next week on Thursday, Raw Thursday. They keep his theme playing while he,
of course they did.
Yeah, because they need to. It's Sid.
Yeah.
He says something about how evil is sometimes the thing we enjoy the most. And come Thursday, he will once again be the man, the master, and the ruler of the world. Then we get a WWF Superstar line where they ask, where is Yokozuna and Brian Pillman? Press 2 if you think they went to heaven. Press 1 if you think they went to hell. Or press 0 if you're an evil non-American atheist who thinks we all just rot in the ground because you are in fact a 0.
A meatbag.
Yes. Next up over on Nitro, we got Ice Train with Teddy Long versus La Parka. Who cares? Ice Train delivers a jumping frog splash for the 3 count.
The finisher, man. Like when he debuted, when we had Fire and Ice, I was excited, right? And then they just bitched him out. But this match, I was sitting there watching it. Yeah, it's La Parka. Okay, sure. The gimmick was great, but he just kind of walks around and then just splashes him. At least, even Warrior would at least bounce off the ropes. Rope. I mean, I'm sorry, I just didn't buy the finish.
Backstage, we see the Outsiders with lead pipes in their hands standing over a downed Lex Luger. Heartbreaking.
Bastards.
And it looked like his hip popped out of his thigh. If you look at it, there's a weird angle on Lex's upper thigh. Looks like there's a big round.
Look at the results of this beating. He's in a wheelchair now.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was just his stash hidden in his tights. So, Mean Gene Okerlund brings out the 4 Horsemen, not including Arn Anderson, who wrestled his last match ever last week. He just doesn't know it yet.
Neither do
What's going to happen? What's going to happen? Chris Benoit says after the clash, he knows exactly who his friends are. Woman tells Jackie that she's got her leftovers, her black-eyebrow, blonde-haired leftovers. Mongo gets on the mic, and Memphis begins to boo this man. Anytime Benoit and Flair need Mongo, just let him know. He announces that if it's okay with the powers that be, he wants to take Lex Luger's place tonight so he can get his hands on Jeff Jarrett. Deborah talks about how perfect she is and makes an ugly joke directed at Miss Jackie. Yes. Ric Flair says he's here to call out Kevin Sullivan. Flair says he couldn't handle woman, so he let the better man, Chris Benoit, take over. Poor woman.
Or Chris Benoit.
He also informs Jackie that nobody with a boyfriend named Shorty can walk next to the Nature Boy. Woo! I can't do it.
Hang on.
Says that Rick's
Woo!
I can't style and profile. I can do it if a whole crowd is doing it because my voice gets drowned out.
I see. But Tony, you forgot Mongo's biggest part in this whole thing. He called Lex a show pony, but he's a horseman.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
That's got to be the best thing I ever heard come out his mouth.
Yeah, there hasn't been many memorable takes from Mongo that weren't funny sound bites, but yeah, that was actually kind of good.
Who would have thought that 30 years from now he'd be hard up for money?
Right?
Dude.
I
It was
could
great
have
to see
seen it.
Malenko and Flair and them all together, with Mongo. But yeah, dude, that's nuts.
Yep.
Yes.
And to see him actually in this match, I don't know. When we get there, I'm sure Etep can let us know. But I didn't think it was all that bad of a match for a Mongo.
No.
Steve Mongo McMichael. Ladies and gentlemen, back on Raw. Vince teleports backstage to have a chat with the tag champions. He brings up what happened at the Royal Rumble where Owen Hart tossed out Davey Boy Smith. Owen just wants Vince to drop the issue so that everything can go back to being just dandy between them. But when Davey Boy calls Owen an idiot, things get heated again. And then we go to the ring where the World Tag Team Champions Owen Hart and Davey Boy Smith take on Doug Furnas and Phil LaFon. This is a title match. And what's going to happen? There's heat between the tag team champions.
And they have a title defense. I don't know. My dollar says maybe they'll lose.
Phil
That would be
LaFon
beautiful.
hits a standing power slam on Davey Boy. No, excuse me. Davey, I'm like, isn't that Davey Boy's finisher?
That's Davey's
Boy.
finisher.
But man, I was sitting there. I wasn't going to correct you on that one. I was like, oh wait, it's a bit. I'm waiting.
Davey Boy hits LaFon with the standing power slam because he wants his title shot. He covers LaFon, but Owen is the legal man who has apparently twisted his knee really bad. And he's on the floor causing the team to get counted out. So your winner via count out, Doug Furnas and Phil LaFon in 11 and a half minutes.
So I was right. They did win because of that, but not the title on DQ.
Yep. So then Davey Boy and Owen kind of argue up the ramp, but they end up hugging it out. And they hug it out. Everything's okay between them.
Well, and that's the way you'd hope it would be with those two, talented. I can't even.
Man.
I mean, you can only do so much with the Bulldog. He was impressive way back in the day. But again, it goes with Brett too. I used to like Brett more as a villain when he first came out as a villain, him and Anvil.
And I have half the brain that you do.
The fuck was that?
Damn it, Sid.
Next up on Nitro, we've got Harlem Heat with Sister Sherry versus the Steiner brothers. With everyone in the ring, the Faces of Fear and Public Enemy jump inside, and this ends in a no contest. Harlem Heat and the Steiners beat up Public Enemy and the Faces of Fear, get them out of the ring, and they all go brawling backstage. Ooh. That's the end of hour one for Nitro. Over on Raw, Crush with the Nation of Domination versus Goldust with Marlena. Ends with Crush hitting the heart punch on Goldust and getting the 1-2-3 in about 8 minutes.
Felt longer.
Yeah. And of course, this is with the Nation distracting. Savio Vega hitting Goldust with the spinning heel kick.
Though, dude, this is
Exciting.
goddamn. The Crush didn't have a good match until he got tagged up with Brian Adams or Brian Clark in WCW. I swear to God, nothing he did while he was with the Nation or the DOA or whatever was any good. It was just fucking bad.
Only when he took on the Undertaker as the other Undertaker. I think that's the best I've ever seen that dude wrestle.
Well, that's just a car.
Dog, most of these NWO jackets are like $400 or $500.
Man, we're about to blow through this and talk about something. This was a fun Raw to watch, but it's not very fun to talk about. I'm realizing nothing really happened, but you got some good wrestling. Okay, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Right.
IC Championship, Triple H versus Mark Merrill. Triple H wins 1, 2, 3, 11 minutes, retains the title. Undertaker and Ahmed Johnson versus Mankind and Farouk is your main event. Tombstone Pile Driver to Mankind. 1, 2, 3. Raw's over. They had a lot longer matches than Nitro.
And there was a dark match after that where Shawn Michaels would defeat Bret Hart and Psycho Sid in a triple threat for the title to retain.
The audience couldn't be happy because they were booing Shawn. They were hot for Bret. They gave Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart a promo as well during that Raw. They're trying to set up WrestleMania 13.
Yeah.
Audience booed Shawn. They were cheering Bret. Kind of a sneak peek at what's to come. We'll get Canadian Stampede this year. Really one of Bret Hart's best years performance-wise, on the mic and in the ring.
Yeah.
WCW Cruiserweight Champion Dean Malenko defeats Mike Penis with a small package in 7 minutes. Gene Okerlund is with the Dungeon of Doom. Conan acts like a stereotype. The end. Diamond Dallas Page versus Renegade. Wins with a Diamond Death Cutter, which is a diamond cutter off the top rope in 2 minutes. The Outsiders are out there with the lead pipes in hand that they used to beat Miss Elizabeth to death and Lex Luger down, framing Lex Luger.
Damn it. I knew it. I knew it was an inside job.
Nobody knows where his loyalties lie yet. And now Macho Man, who's been dressing in black and white lately. So, Outsiders are on the ramp. You look to your left, there's Sting standing in the audience. You look to your right, there's Macho Man. So, DDP doesn't know what to think, and he grabs a red chair, gets back in the ring. But Sting and Randy Savage dissipate. Then the Outsiders, they just kind of shake their heads like, you know what's coming, Paige, and they go backstage. Alex Wright versus Super Callow.
That's a good match. I like Alex Wright.
There's only one winner in this match.
That's the people that get to see Alex Wright dance.
Yes. I was going to say Steve motherfucking Blackman, but yeah.
Steve motherfucking Blackman, the real motherfucking problem. Aye.
Chris Benoit with woman versus Conan and Jimmy Hart. This match kind of gets thrown out because Jackie comes down and she's going to beat White Girl's ass. She's got a belt. She's ready to whoop woman. But Benoit was like, here, let me do it for you, and took the belt. But then he decided the cameras are rolling, so I better pretend to protect woman. So then Jackie looked under the same spot in the ring 7 times, and nothing was there, but she kept looking for a weapon. She ended up picking up a half-drinking bottle of water and threw it halfway at Benoit. She did. She looked under the same spot in the ring 7 times.
I was
Bitch,
hoping
there's nothing there.
Explain that. Like, hey, is there a specific reason this bitch is doing this? I mean, is there maybe supposed to be something there that's not, or maybe it was booked that way, or just her being stupid?
The great Hispanic versus Black people war that took place on the West Coast in the 90s started with Conan, kind of taking Jackie and pulling her away from Woman and Benoit.
That's legit.
Jeff Jarrett versus Steve Mongo McMichael with Deborah. It's Jeff Jarrett's home territory, so of course he gets a big pop. Deborah keeps pulling her husband out until Girly Mongo loses by count out.
Mm-hmm.
And he's pissed off that he lost by count out. Jeff Jarrett's strutting in the ring, and Deborah McMichael smiles into the camera and gives a wink. Like, I have been sucking Jarrett's cock for weeks now.
And Jarrett's bragging the whole way up the ramp. Outwitted you, Mongo.
And Mongo's like, I'm a horseman. And his wife is off blowing Jarrett. Like, good for you, dude. He was never a horseman. They may have said he was a horseman, but in the heart, no. No, horsemen get their dick sucked by other people's women. Their women aren't out sucking dick. I'm just saying. Roddy Piper returns with his son Colt, who's now an MMA fighter. Roddy Piper says, he said that last match was his last match, and he just wanted to come out and address everyone, and he's going to go, home with his little boy and enjoy life on the Piper Ranch. So then Bischoff comes out, or Hogan comes out with Bischoff, and Hogan wants to really rub it in Piper's face. So he's like, who are all the kids in school talking about, brother? Who gets talked about when you mention professional wrestling? Hulk Hogan, who's the real icon? And Piper's like, yeah, it's you. It's you. I don't want to fight. I just want to go home, be with my family, be with my boy. I'm done with all this. So Hogan finally tells him to get out of his ring. So Piper was going to. He's like, I'm just trying to go home. But then Hogan decided to slap Piper upside the back of his head twice. So Piper hands his son off to some stranger who looked like Pat Patterson outside of the ring. Like, how'd you even get to WCW, dude?
Only taller.
Yes. He handed Colt off to a salivating Pat Patterson and then turned around, took the jacket off, went up behind Hogan and Bischoff, who were looking into the crowd, laughing and up to their malarkey and shenanigans, and he smashed their skulls together. Bischoff rolled out of the ring. What was he doing to Hogan? He was doing something to Hogan, had him on the ground.
I think it's supposed to be like poking him with the weight belt in the eye.
Something, so, and then
Hogan was holding his eye, but there wasn't any blood or nothing.
Yeah, Bischoff tries to come in with a chair, and Piper grabs the World Heavyweight title and swings it at Bischoff, who drops off the apron, falls on his ass. And Hogan and Bischoff run away. Piper's in the ring with the World Heavyweight Championship, and he's angry now and says he'll see Hogan at SuperBrawl. And his son's back in the ring, and he whips the title around and almost smacks his son in the face with the heavy strap. He did. He almost smacked his kid in the fucking face. But, overall, not the best show. I enjoyed watching Raw more, but Nitro definitely had the better ending. Raw had the better wrestling this week. It was more of just your classic, wrestling show. Mm-hmm. The Bret Hart. Oh, and during that Bret Hart Shawn Michaels promo too, Steve Austin ran out and started attacking Bret Hart to get back at him. and Psycho Sid went in the ring to get Shawn Michaels, but they went to commercial right when Sid was coming out. When they came back, it was just Shawn and Brett again. They got Steve Austin and Sid back, but that was probably the most exciting like storyline promo of the night over on Raw.
Yeah.
But this was just great. The whole Roddy Piper Hogan segment. This is really good. Usually Hogan segments are pretty boring, but this was money right here.
Terry, just let me go home.
So Raw scored a 2.6. They were up 0.4 ratings from last week. Nitro was down 0.4 from last week with a 3.1. And yeah, is my banner even on?
Yeah.
The fuck is wrong with me? I just turned it on now.
Oh.
Nitro is beating Raw in the head-to-head ratings 32 weeks in a row. Next week won't count because it's Thursday Raw, Thursday. Good night, every... No, I'm kidding. It's show for a bit longer.
10 days from now.
Yes.
They've been text that to you guys. They're like, God damn it, 10 days from now. 10 days from now. Yeah, we know that. There's gonna be a Raw before.
You know what you don't have to wait 10 days for? Steve motherfucking Blackman.
I didn't know if Yuri was making an appearance, so that's why I
No.
Okay.
The Ushankas,
Blackman, but
the Ushankas put away.
Ah, gotcha. Yeah, it was a lot of fun, dude. But yeah, it was just interesting too, though, to see a house show shot, the way that was shot like a house show versus how WCW, and how it's cleaned up and more lit. It was really cool to see it, side by side. Because we used to watch them, so yeah. And then having them both being 2 hours too, right? Technically it was 4 because of the Royal Rumble match, but yeah, either way, it was a whole lot of fun. And then to do it now at this age, again, to see that again, man, it's just like, oh yeah, yep.
Hail Parrot Head, what's up, guys? Sorry, I was off reading the results. Did we get to the show where Triple H puts everything but 70s breasts in the pedigree? She has a nice candle in Life TV. No, we're a few years away from that. Triple H is still Hunter Hearst Helmsley, the blue blood.
Yep.
He's on his first Intercontinental title reign. He'll get the European Championship in a little while later this year. Then he'll win the Intercontinental Champion from Rock again, August 1998. He'll injure himself. Then he'll come back, turn on DX, become the Game, and win the WWF Championship in August 1999. So we're a good 2-3 years from him putting Stephanie's cans in a pedigree.
Because even a 747 looks small next to the Grand Canyon.
Parrot Head calls Superfan a tree humper. I'm pretty sure he's talking to Superfan.
I don't know. I do see Wee Man Walt in the chat.
Hail manliness and motivation.
Hail manliness. What's up, man?
What's up, man?
Yes.
Oh, shit. So the Mid-South Coliseum is currently sitting abandoned. They're getting ready to do a bunch of improvements to the fairgrounds right next to it, but they have no plans to fix the arena up, and that's sad. That used to be, it was called the entertainment capital of the Mid-South.
Yeah.
Manliness and motivation. He said Bret Hart.
Oh, sorry, I was highlighting it.
Bret Hart came out. Tom Cruise could learn from him then. Yes. We could all learn a little something from Bret Hart. Yeah, Bret Hart was cool, but I was like, once Steve Austin started heating up, everyone else was just, to me at the time, I'm like 15, 16, perfect age for Steve Austin. Even like a lot of people I know were Suck It and DX, and they were okay, but Steve Austin was the ass kicker, So I was too young to really respect the tradition and the technicality that Bret Hart was bringing to the ring. So who's ready for Etep to get hella excited?
Yes,
I'm going to make Etep's fucking day.
What do we got?
On this day in wrestling history, 1992, September 13th, 1992.
Lay it on me.
The WWF Light Heavyweight Championship was won by Viano 3.
Oh shit! One of the Mendoza boys. Yes. The villains.
Also,
the third villain, Viano 3.
Yes. The WCW World Television title was won by the cripple Chris Benoit. The WWF Championship was won by WWE Championship was won by John Cena on this day in 2009, and in 2021. Get well soon, brother. Sucks that a year later you're out with a broken neck. Big E defeated Bobby Lashley for the WWE title. Hope that guy gets better. How sad he finally wins the title. It's like a year later, he's, not doing so well. Sad times. Speaking of Mid-South, in 2019, they had an IWA Mid-South Ted Petty Invitational.
Nice.
Yeah. Yep. So, some pay-per-views on this date. The 1998 WCW Fall Brawl came to us live from the Lawrence Joel Veterans Memorial Coliseum in Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
That's Horseman country.
Yes, and the card was Davey Boy Smith and Jim Neidhart defeating the Dancing Fools. Alex Wright and Disco Inferno. Shade under 12 minutes. The WCW television title match, Chris Jericho defeats the fake Goldberg. This is when he was having that little, beef with Goldberg that Goldberg wasn't involved in.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, what's funny, I always mention this, but I've always held like a special place in my heart for Chris Jericho, because the first time I ever saw him live, he was the WCW Cruiserweight Champion.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty sure the next time, I might have seen him again and he was the Cruiserweight Champion or no title, but then I did see him with the television title.
Nice.
And did he win the U.S. Heavyweight Championship?
I don't know if he ever won the U.S. title. I knew he's Cruiserweight and TV champion, but I don't think he ever won the U.S. title. Did he?
I don't know. You know what the best part is? If you don't look it up, we're going to learn because we watch it every week.
Let me see real quick, because I saw him with the heavyweight title. I saw him with the in WWE, he's a 2-time, but let me see in WCW.
I enjoyed him when he had both belts in WWE.
Oh, so I did see him with the Cruiserweight Championship. I saw him with the TV title. Thought I saw him with the U.S. title in WCW, but I could be wrong. But then I did see him in WWF with the Intercontinental title. And then the next time I saw him, he was the undisputed champion with the big gold belt and the WWF championship, which he pinned Stone Cold Steve Austin for after beating The Rock and Steve Austin both in the same night. So I kind of saw Jericho go from Cruiserweight champion to beating WWF's biggest stars in decades in the same night for the two biggest titles in the business.
And I believed it.
So pretty cool. From Cruiserweight Championship feuding with Ron Mysterio and Stinko Malenko to defeating The Rock and Steve Austin in one night. I wasn't at that pay-per-view, but they had a Raw or something a couple of weeks later, here in Las Vegas before they started the whole bullshit-ass Raw roulette that they did here for fucking years.
No.
Oh, God, I was so tired of that.
Yeah.
Every time they cut Raw Roulette, like I don't want. Raw
I got the
Roulette.
pay-per-view
I
where
just
that
want.
happened. So yeah, no.
I just want a fucking regular, like Raw, bro. Please,
Yeah.
Vince. No
Please.
more Raw Roulette. Who cares? So yes, Chris Jericho defeats Fake Goldberg. Ernest the Cat Miller defeats Norman Smiley. That's bullshit. Rick Steiner versus Scott Steiner ended in a no contest. The Cruiserweight Championship, The Juice defeats Silver King.
Hoovy.
Saturn defeats Raven once he broke free from the flock. Dean Malenko defeats Kurt Higgins via disqualification. Really, that's the fucking semi-main event. Conan defeats Scott Hall. I guess it's because the
Goddamn.
War Games match.
Well, you know, Scott
Yeah.
probably had another pulled quad.
Oh, I remember this
No,
one
that's-
now.
Oh, that's Kevin. Never mind.
Yeah.
This is the War Games with the Ultimate Warrior.
Scott
was
went in his
actually-
shoulder.
This is the pay-per-view before Halloween Havoc, which I went to.
Gotcha.
Alright.
I always wanted to go to a Halloween Havoc.
Right?
Yeah. Tony
It was
got it.
great. And you know, Wrestling with Regret did a video the other day about how, like, what was it, Vengeance or one of those pay-per-views in 2003, and he put possibly the greatest B pay-per-view ever. And I heard it, and that was okay. But it's no. The greatest B pay-per-view I went to. And that was No Way Out 2001. That was an amazing. I'm gonna pull up the No Way Out 2001 card.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
I was up in Michigan, Etep, when I went and saw WCW for one of the house shows. I can't remember where, but that was the only ever time I got to see one, and it was, way past Niles and that.
Okay.
No Way Out 2001. We got a hardcore title match. Raven the champion versus the Big Show. Where's the results? I think Raven ended up winning this one, but Big Show might have. Where's the one with the results?
We were in Kalamazoo. It took me a minute. Sorry. That's why I was like, I know it was north of Niles. So, yeah. But, yeah, Kalamazoo.
Okay.
So,
It was one of those venues.
and that isn't even the whole. Yeah, that's right, because I still have pictures of this. Rikishi defeats Matt Hardy with Lita by DQ. Then the hardcore title match. Big Show defeats Raven. Then a fatal four-way for the WWF Intercontinental Championship. And here's where I saw Jericho with the Intercontinental title. Chris Jericho defeating Chris Benoit, Eddie Guerrero, and X-Pac. Then we got a singles match.
A good four-way. Damn.
Yeah. Stephanie McMahon versus Trish Stratus. Then we got the fabled 3 Stages of Hell match between Triple H and Steve Austin. And this right here is where WWF's, like, Draven will say, oh, well, the invasion is when I quit watching. But this right here is when they started going wrong. But it was still a good match, good pay-per-view. It made no sense that Steve Austin would lose this fucking match. Triple H supposedly had him hit by a car and then beat Steve Austin fucking bloody every week for months. 4 months. The Royal Rumble beats him bloody. Bloody, beating the shit out of Steve Austin. And then, hey, well, Vince, I think I should win the match. So Triple H goes over on Steve Austin and when Steve Austin's finally going to get his revenge. And what for? A failed heel turn by Steve Austin 1 month later at WrestleMania 17. Next, we get Stevie Richards with Ivory. They're part of the Right to Censor then, defeating Jerry Lawler with the Cat. Then we get the triple threat tag team tables match for the WWF Championship. The Dudley Boys defeating Kane and The Undertaker and Edge and Christian.
Ooh.
And then we have Kurt Angle's championship defending the title again because, Steve Austin beat The Rock at WrestleMania 17. Well, this is where The Rock won the title. This was like one of the greatest B-show pay-per-views of all time. Ever.
Yeah, well, it's only B because it's not the main four, but yeah, for people that didn't know that.
No Way Out 2001. Amazing show. Beautiful.
I remember watching that one.
So
I couldn't
stupid.
believe Kane and the Undertaker didn't get the belts. I was like, wow.
It was so fucking stupid that Triple H beat Steve Austin in that 3 stages of hell match. Like, booking wise, it makes no fucking sense.
No.
It is so stupid.
Just to give him the win over who's going to be the champ.
Triple H was trying to politic his way into becoming the company's #1 babyface. And how is he going to do that? Well, have me beat Steve Austin. And then Austin's like, well, the heel turn was my idea. Nah, homie, the seed was planted in your head. You're just too drunk to see it. Steve Austin turns heel at WrestleMania 17, starts acting like a jackass with fucking Vince McMahon. Him and Triple H created the 2-man power trip, which was going to end with Triple H turning on McMahon and Steve Austin and becoming the #1 babyface, who then would have led WWE through the whole invasion too. But Triple H tore his quad. Sorry, bro. In that match where he continued with Jericho as a tag match, Jericho and whoever versus Austin and Triple H, and he took the walls of Jericho with his fucking muscle completely ripped off his leg.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
That's what it was. He was fucking politicking his way to become the #1 babyface. But people didn't want to boo Steve Austin. They were happy he was finally back after a year. And then Steve Austin didn't even get revenge for the guy that put him out. It was
no.
And everyone's like, well, you know it's fake, right? Yeah, I'm bitching about the storytelling.
Exactly. There's a storyline here that didn't get finished.
It's like, well, I should be the one that put Austin out. Then I should beat his ass bloody on TV night after night after night. Like that, literally, that's how Raw can end for the next 5 months. So then we finally have our big 3 stages of hell match, and which I believe is the only match they actually had together in the feud. And then I can beat him there. That's entertaining. Just watching the #1 babyface since Hogan. No one will burn as bright as this guy. Trust me, 30 years from now, no one will be burning as bright as this guy. Well, he should get no redemption at all in this angle. He should just look like a pussy the entire time. It's great storytelling. Fuckers.
If only Motorhead would have played during one of his matches with Austin, because we always know he loses when Motorhead played for Triple H.
Yeah. Sunday Night Heat back in 1998 was getting bigger ratings than Raw or SmackDown gets today.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I could believe that.
Sunday Night Heat got a 3.1 on September 13th, 1998.
I remember it being fun, dude. Don't you? I mean, I don't remember it being like horrible.
It was a nice little warm-up show before Raw the next day, and SmackDown wasn't a thing yet. Jim Ross and Shane McMahon are your commentators. Ken Shamrock defeats Vader. Val Venus defeats Mark Merrow. Gangrel defeats Taka Michinoku. European title match. Kane defeats D'Lo Brown, but D'Lo retains via disqualification. Then a lumberjack match. Jeff Jarrett defeats X-Pac. Not bad for a Sunday Night Heat. Then a year later, we have Monday Nitro and a Monday Night Raw. 1999 Nitro comes to you from the Dean Smith Center in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, which is NWO country. #1 contender match for the World Heavyweight title. Oh, this is Geez, maybe we shouldn't read these every week, or we're gonna know all the results from 2 years from now. Remember, they had the the Battle Royal last week, and Benoit and Malenko went to no contest.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they follow up on that, and Benoit defeats Malenko. Disco defeats Eric Watts. Norman Smiley versus Silver King ends without a winner because you can't have something as big as Norman Smiley and Silver King end clean on Nitro. Fuck do you think you are? Let's just jump to the main event because I don't want to bust through all these and then remember it like a year later when we're going through it. Lex Luger and Sting defeat Bret Hart and Hulk Hogan. It's fucking bullshit.
That's a big fucking. That's honestly that's a lot of fucking talent in that match.
Look at that monster 5.95 rating for fucking Raw.
What year was that?
This is 1999. Nitro gets a 3.3, which is like around what they got tonight.
Yeah.
For February 3rd, 97. Raw has a 5.95 when they had a 2.6 tonight.
Yeah.
Fucking more than doubled their fucking rating.
Damn.
Raw. We should be reading the Thunders and Smackdowns. Steve Sisolak defeats Prince Albert.
Yes, Steve Sisolak. You go, boy.
Yeah.
Thieves play.
Did you watch last night's Raw, Tony?
What? No, not. I heard the ups and downs from What Culture Wrestling. See, look at this. What date is this? September 13th, 1999. Triple H defeats Steve Austin. Like Austin, once Hunter got his hands on the title and started politicking,
it was over.
He always made Steve Austin look weak. Always. When it's like, you're fucking boring, dude. Triple H was boring for a long time. Yeah. When he left DX, he was fucking boring. I'll tell you who's not boring. I'll tell you who does deserve to hit Steve Austin with the car and then beat him a year and a half later in the big blow-off match. Tommy and the Guinea Pig Collective. Hail.
That's right, goddammit.
Hail, sir. Who has a bigger ego, Vince or Hogan? Probably Hogan. Hogan wouldn't make him like Vince when it came down to it and saving his company. He'd let his fucking bunch of wrestlers circle jerk on his face if that's what it took to save the fucking company and get the ratings up.
He let wrestlers bang his daughter. You can't argue that point. She's married to one. Just saying.
Who's nailing my $1 million princess?
Hogan's solution to everything is, well, I should go over, brother.
Yeah. Well, that's Hulk. That's Hulk.
That's what happens when, that's the penance for having to deal with Pat Patterson. That's why Hogan had that. it just went through every promotion. Pat tapped that ass.
He is going to get pegged by Ruby again. Okay, everyone, I don't know who Manliness and Motivation's talking about, so we're going to go around the horn and guess. I'm starting CM Punk. Who do you think's getting pegged by Ruby, Etep?
If history holds true to form, I'm probably going to go with Gerald Briscoe.
And then Adam picks Angelous Draven. Oh, hey, Draven, what's up, dude?
There he is.
Hey, Draven.
Hey, bro.
Hey, buddy.
How are you doing over there?
How you doing, guy?
Responsibilities.
What are these responsibilities you speak of?
I don't have any, but I know Draven does.
Dude, we were talking about I never got to go to a WCW pay-per-view, but the one place that I went to see WCW when he came to Michigan was Saginaw. And yeah, like I said, I got to go to, I think it might have been the last 2 Nitros they ever had there. And one of them was like right after my 17th birthday, which was cool. That was my mom got me tickets for that because she knew how much I fucking loved the NWO. And I went with one of my buddies that I played football with. We were like, we were fucking huge wrestling fans, and it was like we were like talking, trying to like get into wrestling after high school and shit. And then he moved away and ruined it like a dick. But so no, we went to that, because Saginaw was only like an hour and 20-minute drive, so it was kind of cool to get to go. But like that, like there was like groups of us, like we'd go for like we went to a couple Thunder tapings and shit. It used to be, it was called the Wendler Arena, or AKA the Saginaw Civic Center back then. Now it's like, of course it's got a corporate name. It's, it's the Dow Event Center. But yeah, it was, they still, I've got to see in like WWF, like never ran there. They never ran, like very rarely would they go there, because that was like literally Jim Crockett Promotions ran there. And every now and then WWF would come in,
Yeah, same here. They came to Las Vegas a lot more after WCW went out of business.
Yep.
But WCW was here several times a year.
And it's funny, dude. The Civic Center has had, like, some of the guys that I used to wrestle with, like some of the companies that I worked for after they ran there, like would run shows there. Like UWA, where I started ring announcing, ran a show there on Devil's Night, which in Saginaw used to be kind of scary. But no, it's I went to a SmackDown there, and it was like fucking Benoit worked Mark Henry, Mysterio and Angle were like feuding for the belt. But like it was cool because I got to see some really good like WCW stuff there, and that was like, because they'd go to Lansing, like like Adam said, Kalamazoo, Saginaw, Detroit. I don't think I ever saw them. I don't think I ever saw them at the Joe. I've been to it's the Little Caesars Arena now, but I went to a shitload of we'd go to Raw, not Raw, but we went to Raw there. We went to Heat there. And then Van Andel in Grand Rapids is a really nice wrestling venue too. I never been to the one I can't remember which venue they go to in Lansing, but I've never been to a show down in Lansing. But Saginaw, like they don't go to Flint, they just skip Flint. No, they used to go to the IMA in Flint, I think.
Nice. Super fan.
Yeah.
I gotta ask you, bro. Does it look like this Amazon smart plug is giving us the people's eyebrow?
I'm thinking so, man. It really does.
I'm thinking so. Teddy Long shoots on CM Punk, AEW All Out Brawl, Vince McMahon retiring, and more. Let's hear what the guy who used to have no teeth has to say about everybody. Throughout his illustrious career, Theodore Robert Rufus Long has worn many hats. First was a crackhead in Mid-South in the 80s. Or Jim Crockett, excuse me. Let's see what he had. Let's get to the meat. The meat of the product. Now, we all remember his SmackDown days. Yes. One-on-one with The Undertaker. By one-on-one, I mean six-man tag. See, Draven, if you want to know why I bitch about the trios titles, you can thank this motherfucker right here.
Damn it, Teddy.
Yeah.
Teddy Godfather Long.
So let's jump to the meat of this. Well, Teddy, I had a great time this past week at AEW All Out. I don't know if you saw the video, but found myself in a very precarious situation at the All Out Media Scrum. CM Punk decides to just go nuclear in a lot of ways. What did you think about this all, Teddy? I'm sure you've seen it and read about it at this point, Teddy. little bitch. Teddy says, just kidding. Teddy says, well, I mean, CM Punk is going to be CM Punk. Know what I mean? That's just it. The one thing I can say, a lot of people may not like him, may not like what he done, but I mean, sometimes you have to tell the truth. And sometimes there's an old saying, the truth hurts. But CM Punk is going to be CM Punk. Ain't nobody going to change him. You know what I mean? Kudos to him. That's all I can say. Fuck him, dude. Look at that. Look at that.
What a bitch.
Tony, you've seen heels, right?
Look at it. Straight edge. Yeah.
Straight crackhead.
I've seen like the first, maybe the second episode of Heels.
Oh, okay. Because there's the part that he was in. Yeah, if you want to see it, let me know. Holler at me off air.
Yeah, so he's not really shooting on Punk. He's kissing his ass. Being ground zero. Now, see, I was about way over here. This is something else I was there for. They're in Las Vegas right here. So I was there for CM Punk's pipe bomb, and I got to say from someone in the audience, we had no fucking idea what was going on until about 5 minutes into it. We're like, are the cameras even on right now? What's going on? Like, it was a little confusing. I mean, not 5 minutes, but maybe it took a good 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes to be like, oh shit, he's actually shooting, you know?
Yeah.
But like, we didn't know if the cameras are on, or maybe they were still like, they went to commercial. Like, yeah, you know how it can be at a live event.
Yeah, they don't say, hey, and now we're cutting for commercial when you're at a live event.
Some of it was the great shoot, the great pipe bomb. Well, some of it was kind of unexpected. They didn't really, kind of really didn't know. That's why they kind of left that mic on to see exactly what he was going to say. So some of it, I don't think they knew. What, when he called Triple H an idiot?
Well, he did speak the truth.
Yeah, I say he's not wrong.
No, I can't. I mean, you know, your wife did say you had a tiny pecker and called her vagina the Grand Canyon. So I don't know, pal.
Here's a picture of Punk strangling the life out of AEW, making it kinda cool.
Well, if he ended up in charge, it would just be Ring of Honor again, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
Yeah, so that was fucking boring. Thanks for nothing, Teddy Long. I thought you were gonna bring some heat, but you're like, nah, man, we did cardio together, me and Punk. Okay, well, say something controversial.
Yeah, it could be in a bitch.
At least Lord Steven Regal kissed McMahon's ass, literally. He wasn't embarrassed to keep his job and do that skit. So yeah.
I don't know. He should have stayed retired, but
yes.
Look, between UFC and AEW, this man has tarnished his fucking legacy. And I'm just kind of like, and he could be like, well, I don't give a fuck. It's like, okay, well, go put on your abortion shirt then, dude, and fucking heal your injury so you can get injured again. Like, what do you want me to say? Like, all the haters were right. You lost your edge, fool.
Well, I mean, it's a horrible thing that's going to happen coming up, but could that happen to him, you know, and just go from falling your ass with your head, you know, for a tombstone? Can we have an Odin tombstone on him, or, you know, is that just too much?
Yeah.
It's not far enough. I agree. It's not far enough. At least a buried alive match, like for real.
Draven says that Superfan is a bigot for not liking 6-man tags. What's wrong with you, Superfan?
Well, you know, he's just a little bit away, sis.
Teddy Long is just affirmative action Jim Cornette.
Oh, shit. Nice.
Only Stephen Walton says, do you think I could get away with naked yoga on YouTube? Well, it is YouTube, so you have to mark yes, it's for kids. We're that little option that they're asking. Sure.
Yeah.
Let you get away with
natural yoga workout. There you go. You're covered.
Yep.
YouTube lets you get away with anything if it's directed at kids. So Draven says, funny thing, CM Punk looks like a friend of mine, and he thinks he is the best at everything as well. And he is far from it. I'm Casey Kasem.
This is American Top 40. Hey, I've got an article about the 10 best WCW stable rivalries ever ranked. Would that be something you're interested in?
Ooh.
What is it?
It's the 10 best WCW stable rivalries ever ranked.
Sure.
All right. So here we go. I know. Right here.
Real quick, we're talking about the injury, Draven, but it's like, holy shit, dude. Like, I'm sorry, it does do something towards the title. It doesn't make the title or the championship scene look the best when your top talent is getting injured every other match. You know, it doesn't make the promotion look good. Even if injuries happen, it's a mistake. But holy shit, dude. He broke his foot celebrating. Comes back, has a quick 2-minute match with Mox to lose the title. Then when he actually returns for a match, he injures himself at the beginning of the match. Like, dude, put a fork in you. You're done. Go join the trios division. Join the trios division.
You're not wrong.
It's a young man's game.
Because knowing this now, I'm pissed. I'd rather Mox would have just kept the belt. Well, what was
Me
the point?
too.
It's kind of like a Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart bullshit.
Me too, because it's not going to look good if Mox just... I want Mox to be champ, but it's not going to look good if he just wins the title back again now, too. Now there needs to be some time. And he was in the middle of a heater, you know? Clone Geek says CM Punk's injuries are the Harrison Ford injuries of the WWE.
Yeah.
Why they've got to see, that's a problem AEW's got, is all their top guys are either injured or fucking suspended now, or both. You know, I mean, Punk hedging your bets in the Punk fucking card is not a good idea, obviously. You know, but like I said, we've talked about Tony Khan. This guy's an idiot. This guy's a fucking idiot. He's trying to be friends with the boys. And like I said the other night, I was talking to Tony about this. You know, Jim Cornette, I'll agree with him on this. You can't be friends with the boys if you're the booker or you're the promoter, because wrestlers are predatory animals, and when they smell blood in the water, they will fucking attack. And that's what they're doing now to him, is they're strong arming him because he's the promoter. And this is what happens when the inmates run the asylum. They're allowed to do and say whatever they want, because they know, oh, well, you know, hey, I don't want them to not like me. It's, you know, God.
Yeah, and the way karma works, too, and life works, like, Tony Khan is constantly on Twitter making snide remarks, and, well, I guess I'm the longest reigning wrestling promoter now. And, like, I saw on Wrestling just now, he made a snide comment because Raw's ratings dipped. Because of the Emmys and Monday Night Football. Dude, you're going to eat shit eventually. And people are going to laugh at you because you're talking all that shit. So just wait, dude. Like, one of these wrestlers are going to really get over on you. And the sympathy ain't going to be there. Real quick, Draven, and we'll jump into the article. My bad.
Yeah.
Etep.
No, you're fine.
Draven says, just suspended right now with Bucks, Omega, and Punk. Everyone else, as far as my knowledge, is there. Yeah. Like, they still have plenty of main eventers, and I'm kind of happy, too, because if MJF was going to be Punk's first rivalry with the title after one short reign, then MJF wasn't going to win that feud. And I'd like to see MJF go on to win the AEW title. You know, I would. I would. Sometime within the next year or so. He's
have a good run.
He's one of the, like, my buddy and I were talking last night because he was telling me, we got to admit Roman Reigns is better now. I'm like, I'm not a big fan, you know. Everyone, the Usos, Heyman, they're all crutches to prop him up. He can't stand on his own. He's not a very good wrestler. And I told him, like, I think MJF is a far better heel than Roman Reigns, like far better in the ring, on the mic, in every aspect.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'd like to see MJF, you know, skyrocket. It's about time.
Yeah, he's his numbers up. You know, it's his turn. The dude's he's got all the tools. He literally has all the fucking tools. You know, this guy's got the look, he's got the swagger, he's got the heel heat, the good kind of heel heat, you know. Yeah, I like that about that kid. You know, he's got a good future. As long as he doesn't do anything stupid. So here we are. Over on the Sportster.com, this came out a couple days ago, but you know, these are always fun to look at. Faction warfare often reigns supreme on WCW. Yes, sir.
Have a great night, Gap After Dark. Thank you.
See you, Gap.
Gap.
Have a great night. Yes, it does, Steven. Yes, it does. All right, so the best stable rivalries ranked right here. 8 stables that failed. What went wrong? I want to open that one up too, because that one I'll just put that. We'll just put that over here on the side.
Yeah, that sounds good too.
While let's see, they've been home to some of the most legendary, iconic stables. The Horsemen and the NWO come to mind. That's nice. They know about our show. It's had somewhat surprisingly mixed results when attempting to feud 2 or more long-term. WCW's penchant for short-term booking in choosing shock value over coherent storytelling meant that even the most promising storylines ultimately disappointed on occasion. Despite being the original home of War Games, conceived and popularized by Dusty Rhodes and a perfect fit for the Horsemen, and booking several highly rated matches around the stable concept, the rivalries between them driving the bouts could be inconsistent at best. Team Canada versus the Misfits in action. You had really good individual talent in some of these stables, but I'm outside of like Van Hammer, who, you know, he was one of the longest tenured WCW wrestlers.
Really? He's just, like John Morrison just ripped him off.
Who, Van Hammer?
Yeah.
Pretty much. Except he had talent, you know, that was the thing. I never liked John Morrison, though. I really didn't.
Me neither.
I always just thought he was kind of douchey, and he just came, and especially after you found out that Batista basically was like, hey, I'm going to fuck your girl, and you're just going to take it. And Morrison was like, yes, Dave.
Yeah, I had say apparently his girl thought he was douchey, too.
Yeah. Yep. It's
bowl.
No, Matt, and I hate to say this about Batista, but compared to John Morrison, he is the bull. You know, yeah. I mean, Morrison, it's just like every woman like her would be, I'm fine dating any kind of guy until somebody else like there's always a bigger fish. Like what's his name?
Bigger, better deal.
Yeah, like Qui-Gon said, there's always a bigger fish. And John Morrison found that out the hard way because Batista's a tuna.
What up, fellas? Hey, sorry it was
Happy
so late.
birthday.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I had a birthday surprise from a nice lady friend. So I wanted to say hello now, though. I'm here.
Was it John Morrison's girlfriend? We were just talking about Batista banging her.
Well, that's what Etep and I paid for. No.
Yeah. I sent Melina to your house. What the hell?
Oh, nice. Is that what was in that big box?
Yeah. Oh, there's a big box in there.
Raven says, "Well to you and happy birthday."
Thank you, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Manliness and motivation says, "There's always a bigger gash."
Wait, hang on. There's somebody else that wants to say happy birthday. Hang on, let me find my fucking. Here he is.
Is it Ron Gashman?
Happy birthday, you beautiful son of a bitch.
Thank you for the gash.
The stare is so intense.
It's the gash, the gift that keeps on giving.
Oh, you did see? I was in the store today and I just did a quick short and I did it for hold on, I'm sharing screen now. I did it for Etep.
Let's see.
I mean, I hope the audio is working. I hope it hit the audio.
Here, I got it.
Etep. Look, it's snap, crackle, and gash. Snap, and gash.
I had to. And then there was another good one. This thing I put up before and it got over 4,000 views. It's just funny.
Yes. What the fuck is wrong with this thing?
Look at them. He's got them Perlman teeth.
I was gonna say,
What the fuck
since
is
when
wrong
do
with-
sharks come from? I don't want to pick on any specific.
The Perlman gas shark. Oh,
It's funny though because you're like, what's wrong with you're looking at the toy like, what's wrong with this, and other people are going, what is wrong with this guy?
He's asking what the fuck's wrong with a plastic shark.
right?
I was going to say the manliness and motivation. He's asking who's the worst person, Gashman or Vince. At least Vince like fucked
He
with
paid
the
off.
women. Yeah, and
Yeah.
he made them millionaires, like made their dreams come true when he was
Yep.
done.
Yeah, he's like, sit on my lap. Here's $1 million.
Yeah.
Gashman
Gashman
just-
just talked to him about gun rights afterwards.
And he left him smelling like fucking cheap cigars and regret.
Yeah.
Right?
Cabin.
Gashman's walking around with animatronic heads, and just it's creepy. It's weird.
Hillbilly Jaws. That's what it looks like. You should have overalls on it.
Draven says, well, with the Little Mermaid now, anything is possible under the sea.
Oh, wait. I gotta sit. Hang on, Tony. You're gonna. You mentioned it, baby. Where's it at? I'm gonna. Where the fuck? Hang on. Let me.
I'll bring up the overlay. I'll bring up.
Yep. Hang on.
It's
I'm
me,
switching
baby. It's red. I don't know.
I'm being ill, Captain. Save me.
All this
Wait, here
fentanyl
it
made
is
my
right here.
eye bloodshot.
Let me do the song. Hang on. Under the knee, under the knee, under the knee, under the knee. Counterfeit 20, drugs I took plenty. Now I can't breathe. Thank you, baby. Happy birthday, Vinny, you crazy cracker.
Thank you so much. And I heard someone say Mike Lindell. Hold on, I got something.
Oh, we were talking about that. He got raided by the FBI or something. He took his phone.
Yeah.
He's one of the 50 people?
Mm-hmm.
And in
You
fact,
could
I
blow
think
me
it was
up, I got
Frankie that told us. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Mike Lindell. They arrested me for crack pillows. And Trump.
Crack pillows and Trump.
You can sleep like me, Mike Lindell, with crack.
mybooks.com and put some money on it.
I need bail.
In Minnesota, we sleep with crack pillows. And Trump.
And I can see Russia from my backyard.
We also have slippers filled with crack and fentanyl.
Where is Fem Floyd? Probably streaming with Fat Steven Seagal.
Wait,
And Ron Gashman.
hang on. She's on her way. All right. Look, you think this bitch is gonna be on time?
Well, hold on, let me real quick. I just want to share this, and then we got Fem Floyd.
Okay.
I don't know if Vinny saw
Yeah.
this earlier, but get the song stuck in my head.
Oh my god.
Gotta get Yuka to sing this next.
Oh,
I
that'd be
finna be
fantastic.
where the people are. You gotta say Ara. It's I'm finna be where the people are. Like Hogue from Drive Miss Daisy.
Author Stephen Walton says happy birthday.
Thank you, Steven. I appreciate it, buddy. Hope you're doing well, man.
Frankie says, "Hi, I'm Mike Lindell. Please leave a message."
And crack.
Crack. I love it. Poor Mike. Hey, look, baby. I'll hook you up, Mikey. I know people in there.
No, Clone Geek, we haven't seen the pictures of Hulk Hogan doing 9/11.
9/11. Oh,
He taxed that ass. I mean,
I did pick up that figure. I saw him today. He was on sale, so I got him.
Nice. Beefcake's wife. That's who Terry was doing. Beefcake's wife.
Poor Bubba.
Oh, that's right. He was being an older one.
Oh,
Yeah.
of course.
damn it. Son of a
Jesus.
B word. It's not working. Yammer. Trying to get that
So
bitch.
that was the 10 failed WCW stables.
Hang on. There. I'm trying to get my Georgina Floyd thing ready. I'm screen sharing it because it's on the wrong screen. I'm stoned. And here's the fucking stables. Team Canada versus the Misfits in action. We know this was a fucking
remember.
mess. I mean, like I said, you had some decent, but like Van Hammer, which was a fucking joke. But post NWO, WCW's booking was famously a mess, with a revolving door of writers producing week after week of painfully awkward, incoherent television, with WWE firmly reestablished as the standard bearer in the Monday Night Wars. Company brass increasingly found themselves simply trying new things, especially with unestablished or struggling talent. Team Canada and the Misfits in action, they'll come up again, were exemplary of the WCW's mid-card from 99 through March 2001's closure. Honestly, the Canucks' only Lance Storm and Elix Skipper, who wasn't even Canadian at the time, were fairly entertaining. However, their long, pointless rivalry with MIA... There she is, baby! That's my boo! Damn, girl, you look thicker than a bowl of oatmeal, baby!
Like the
Oh
young
God, she
Florida.
looks like me.
Like the young Florida.
Let's see. However, their long, pointless rivalry with MIA only led to two more non-Canadians, Major Guns, Tylene Buck, and weirdly Hacksaw Jim Duggan pledging allegiance to the Great White North. Yeah, that's Millionaires Club versus the New. This, if it was booked right, could have been better, but you never could have put Hollywood Hogan and Goldberg and Sting together. Like, no, like that was. No, that was bad.
Hell no.
With all the names and booking power behind this angle, it's pretty telling that it's near the bottom of our list. One could even argue the Millionaires Club versus New Blood angle was at least relevant, in that it accurately portrayed the backstage conditions at the time. Yeah, Jeff Jarrett going over for that. Unfortunately, it was also the opposite of the tide-turning company-saving creative breakthrough it was hyped as being. Famously, egos got in the way from the start, as none of the veterans seemed particularly interested in actually putting the youngsters over. See Hulk Hogan and Billy Kidman. Yeah, that feud was fun. And when they did, it was often the wrong choice. Jeff Jarrett as a main eventer began here, for example. The Filthy Animals and the Natural Born Thrillers. Dude, I think the Natural Born Thrillers are one of the most underrated stables that had like some of the best, most underutilized, misbooked talent. You had O'Hare and Sean O'Hare and Mark Jindrak, who as athletes were fucking amazing. Jindrak was actually supposed to be an Evolution at first, but they replaced him with Randy Orton, and the rest is history. You know, Stasiak was a fucking really good worker, and he could do the comedy bits really well. You had Mike Sanders, who was good on the microphone. Chuck Palumbo. and lesser to a lesser extent, you had Reno, and what's his name, Johnny, Vito's partner, because Vito was there too for a minute, as like an associate because his tag partner, I think Johnny the Bull, was on there for a hot minute too. But yeah, this promo right here, we got Jindrak grabbing or O'Hare grabbing Mean Gene. It was funny because, like, Mean Gene, what did he say to him? He goes, "Watch out, you prick." He goes, "I got guys that'll break your kneecaps." Oh, it was fucking hilarious. Like, it was one of the times where Mean Gene swore live. You know, it was like older Mean Gene, you know, towards the end of WCW.
Had a couple Etep drinks beforehand, maybe. You know?
Probably. But yeah, that was funny. The Filthy Animals, I mean, he had outside of Conan, pretty talented, ensemble. I mean, Kidman, Eddie, and Ray. At one time, Conan can work. I don't want to totally shit on Conan because he could work really well. But it just seemed a lot of the times his timing was off because he got bigger. You know, he put on some size and he sacrificed a lot of his mobility for it. I mean, not to a Scott Steiner extent, which Steiner could still pull the Frankensteiner off when he was big. But
yeah, that was impressive. Jeez.
Yeah, being as huge as he was, because he's not that. I don't know how tall Scotty is. Is he 6 foot? Is he 6'1"?
Mm.
Yeah,
When I met him,
there.
when I saw him, I think he might be closer to 6'9", 6'10".
Wait, Scotty Steiner?
Yeah, the big pop-up pump.
Yeah, no way. Is he that tall?
He wasn't that tall when I saw him. I mean, granted, it was a couple of years ago, but he was. It was after he had that big staph.
The tattoo on his chest. Oh, okay. Oh, all right.
Well, yeah,
So we were
that's why
talking.
he got the tattoo because
Because
I
his
think
chest got all fucked up.
Yeah, he had a massive staph infection through his chest and stomach. But when I saw him, yeah, he wasn't that tall. Because I'm 6 foot. He was shorter than me.
Yeah, I thought he was like 5'8", 5'9". I don't know. How tall is Scott Steiner? 6'1".
Nah, they're lying.
Yeah, there's Ricky's 5'11".
Yeah.
So then, Scott's probably 5'11" too. You know, or close.
Yeah.
Generally, brothers are close. You know, they were pretty close in height in the ring.
They're probably both around 5'9", 5'10". That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. I think they gave the wrestling numbers to them.
That seems more accurate. Yeah. Let's see. So we had the Filthy Animals, a pathetic misuse of some of the industry's most talented performers. They weren't the worst thing the company offered. Moreover, the Natural Born Thrillers were a stable of promising, if green, power plant grads. So even if the story was lacking, and it was, the athletes involved at least kept it interesting. Of course, it was late. What's that?
Is it cruel to like advertise Infamil when you can't get your fucking hands on it right now?
Yeah, that is kind of fucked up.
For no reason other than haha, because they say so.
Yeah. Let's see. Of course, since this was late air at WCW, the Thrillers' first feud upon their call-up saw them not only lose, culminating in their Monday Nitro defeat by the legendary team of Mysterio and Tigress, but look goofs in the process. The Filthy Animals versus the Misfits in action. I think you guys are... Oh, wait, what is this? Since the Animals and MIA existed simultaneously, WCW programming was in total nonstop chaos at points. These two mid-card gimmick-laden groups crossed path. And in fairness, the talent in both groups, Mysterio, Kidman, and Conan in one, Chavo, Lash LaRue, Van Hammer, Booker T in the other, laid the foundation for some decent in-ring action. The problem, yet again, was that none of it meant anything. It was prototypical of WCW to paint the colorful animals as the heels in this feud. Mysterio should never be a heel, while the MIA, especially after mercifully abandoning Booker T's short-lived membership as G.I. Bro, wasn't particularly likable. I hated when they did that to Booker T, that G.I. Bro gimmick. That was fucking so whack.
Yeah, that was bad.
That was one of his first gimmicks, and they like brought it back. But
yeah,
that and fucking having him imitate The Rock, like, that's stupid. Like, he's his own. Number one, it's kind of racist. Like, well, you'll be our black champion, you know?
Right.
Fucking, it was just, he's better than that. Like, Booker T was a good in-ring performer. Like, why do you got to have him doing the bookend when he has his own arsenal of moves?
Dude, yeah. His finishers were always high energy.
Yeah, he's got a killer missile drop kick that always looked great. He's got that, like, side heel kick that he does. Fucking, or his
The Harlem
axe
side kick. The Harlem
his
axe
side
kick.
kick and his fucking axe kick where he runs off the ropes and fucking you're bent forward and he kicks you in the back of the head. He's got his spinneroni, which ended up bringing him to fame. He's got like such an arsenal of moves, and they were having him do the Rock's pussy moves.
Yeah. Don't forget the Harlem Hangover too. Off the top, man. He did that beautiful flip.
Yep. You're right.
And he was a big guy. Booker was a big guy. Like,
I know.
Stevie Ray he wasn't much bigger if you really look at him now. Like, you always looked at like Stevie like he was that. He really wasn't. Like, Booker T he's a big man.
Yeah, even a few months ago when he was going one-on-one with Luger, he looked like he belonged in the ring with Luger. Like, there wasn't much of a size difference.
No. And that's why it was so nice to see him finally get that push, even if it was late, as a single star. Because, it's sad, but the tag teams will sometimes, not always, but they can outgrow themselves, and one person's always going to, see Shawn Michaels emerge as a star. But yeah, the West Texas Rednecks versus the No Limit Soldiers and the Filthy Animals. This was such a waste of money by Eric Bischoff, Master P in WCW with the No Limit Soldiers. And I say that as somebody who bought every single fucking No Limit like record that came out back then, like CD and shit. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, Silk the Shocker.
Wasn't he close to irrelevancy by then, Master P?
Yeah, you're talking, this is like what, 90, what was this, 97 or 98, maybe 2000?
Like 99 or 2000.
99. Okay, so 99, 2000, they were 2 years past their born-on date at that point. Because they kind of tapered off around like, well, I saw them in concert in 2000, so they were pretty much, they were like, Cash Money. No Limit. Yeah, No Limit faded out before Cash Money. It wasn't No Limit. It was Rough Riders and Cash Money. But so No Limit was toast by then. Because Master P was like, think about it. Didn't he have a TV show too? He had some fucking TV show.
I know he made a shit ton of money, but they seemed like they were kind of in and out. They were popular, and one year they weren't.
But yeah, they hit a wall after a certain point, though, and it was just like it was kind of gone. I like country music. I love country girls. If rap is crap, the hilarious first single.
I love
Kurt Hennig. Dude, that was funny. That was legit funny. Like, I wish I could use that and get away with it, like for copyright, because that shit it's gold. It is.
I feel that's when Jeff Jarrett was really Jeff Jarrett.
Well, he wasn't in that. You had Barry and Kendall, Wyndham, and Bobby Duncombe and Hennig in that. Jarrett was in the main event right here. He wasn't never in the West Texas Rednecks, was he?
No.
I was gonna say, I don't think I'm remembering that wrong.
Hennig did Rap is Crap, and Jarrett did With My Baby Tonight.
Yep. Yeah, I remember. He wasn't even the real Double J. It was.
As
Jesse
a performer,
James.
though, I felt Jarrett is better during this time frame, though.
Oh, okay.
As a wrestler, I'm sorry, I did not mean in the gimmick. I just was.
I was like,
bringing up.
I gotcha.
Stuff, Jeff Jarrett. Yeah. Sorry.
Right. No, you're fine. Ironically, their group booked as heels in a southern-based promotion filled with country fans caught on. Unlike Master P's No Limit Soldiers, it was comprised of actual wrestlers who weren't paid six figures per appearance, while the likes of Swole, Chase Tatum, and Brad B.A. Armstrong fizzled. Brad Armstrong. Even integrating the Filthy Animals provided little charity and structure, and the much hyped and very expensive Angle ultimately fizzled, putting over nobody. I like that, dude. This was like great by Hennig when Master P showed up and he got his CD and he got him to autograph it. Then he just throws it down and fucking smashes it. I was like, that shit was gold, dude. Hennig was funny. Like he was like, he didn't try to be then, but like he was just funny, He those little things like that. I love that.
That dude, he was such a natural, man. All the ribs he would do to all those other wrestlers, man, he would be breaking balls 24/7.
Oh yeah. Dude, look at Terry Funk was ripped back then. Look at fucking Gary Hart, Gordon Soley, and Terry Funk. I love Gordon Soley.
Mm-hmm.
He was probably one of my favorite announcers. The turn of 89 into 90 was tumultuous period in WCW. The company's ownership transition from Crockett to "Hi, I'm Ted Turner" had unsettling, albeit intriguing, ripple effects for the next several years. Perhaps nobody was affected more than Ric Flair. The symbolic of Jim Crockett and the NWA was still in his prime, but everything around him was a mess. He and unlikely partner Sting feuded with Gary Hart's J-Tex Corporation, featuring Terry Funk and the Great Muta. Great Muta is was an amazing worker too. Through 1989. Eventually, this led to Flair reforming a babyface Horseman after Arn Anderson's return from a year spent in WWE, which I think that was when he was there with Tully as the Brainbusters the first time. Yeah. However, despite the fantastic Flair Funk I Quit bout at Clash of the Champions 9 that November, the story coalesced around the Horseman's predictable double cross of the Stinger at Clash 10 in February of 1990. This too, dude. Fucking Nash dressed as Arn Anderson was great.
Oh yeah.
The Four Horsemen versus the NWO. Undoubtedly the two top stables in the company's history. It's a shame the NWO coexisted with the 96-97 version of the Horsemen and not the 86-87 version. Now that would have been a great feud. Wow. When Hall, Nash, and Hogan began running roughshod over the company, many fans assumed Flair would help lead the WCW resistance. Unfortunately, aside from a few fun moments during the Nature Boys issues with Eric Bischoff, the Horsemen were usually left looking like mid-card losers. From the infamous My Spot parody to Kurt Hennig's subsequent double cross, Flair never got his revenge until an early 99 feud with Hogan, leading to a double turn that nobody wanted. The Horsemen versus the Dudes with Attitudes. Oh God, I remember this. This was like just oof. Sting and Flair resumed
those glorious locks.
Oh, dude, I wish I had hair like that. Are you kidding me? I would rock that shit. I have soul glow in it. Once Sting and Flair resumed their natural roles as foes, following their brief partnership in 89-90, the Stinger, after recovering from an ill-timed knee injury suffered at Clash 10, set his sights on the Nature Boys World Heavyweight Championship. However, with the Horsemen, now with new member Sid Vicious, our good friend of the program, Sid Vicious, protecting Flair as usual, it behooved the challenger to find some friends of his own. The Dudes with Attitudes, Sting, Luger, the Steiner brothers were a formidable collection of talent. However, peripheral members like Paul Orndorff, the Junkyard Dog, and Elegante offered diminishing returns. Although the Sting Horseman feud was entertaining, culminating in classic moments like his first world title win and infamous Halloween Havoc incident, his partners didn't add much value. Yeah, I mean, with the Steiner and Luger, you're all right, but Junkyard Dog, I mean, what the that doesn't really fit the gimmick, does it?
Not really, no.
Yes, the Dangerous Alliance. Paul E. motherfucking
Stone
Dangerously.
Cold was in that.
Yes,
At
he
one
was.
point.
Dude, Rick Rude. I mean, yeah. That was actually then there's what's his name? Bobby Eaton.
That's why I really want to go through and put together like a list of how Heyman changed the industry, because even Steve Austin was a Heyman guy.
Yes.
Like Paul Heyman practically built the entire industry from the late 80s up.
Mm-hmm.
Like that dude had his hands in a lot of shit, and a lot of people became stars who wouldn't have, because he saw the talent in them.
Yeah.
And knew how to use that talent.
Mm-hmm.
Heyman was a salesman.
To this day, he's propping up fucking someone who shouldn't even be in the main event. You know, like Roman Reigns is the muscle. Roman Reigns should be the muscle of the champion, you know, of a
Arn
smaller
Anderson, if you
champion.
will.
What?
He should be the Arn Anderson, if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Roman Reigns' role. It's just fucking Vince McMahon was a fucking idiot. So
Yeah.
Well, you know, when you owe the Samoans, you pay the Samoans.
yeah.
Yeah. Dude, that's Reigns is a background player. He's not the front man, you know. He's not even a little bit.
Yes, manliness and motivation. A lot of them became stars because Pat Patterson saw their chocolate star. Like the Hardy Boys.
God damn it, Pat. Get away from Pettingill. Sting sure makes friends easily for a man double cross so often. Of course, as a top babyface with a bullseye on your back as big as the sun, it helps to have trusted allies as the challenges never stop coming. That's what she said. With Flair gone in late 91, he was over in WWF at the time, I believe. That was his first. Was that his first stint over there? It was 91, yes, wasn't it?
Correct.
Paul Heyman. Paul E. Dangerously, as it were, began collecting heels with Rick Rude as his crowning jewel, and that was before the injury. The Stinger, meanwhile, was working his way back to challenging Luger for the world title, reigning as U.S. champion in the meantime. Eventually, Rude's challenge for the belt turned into a full-blown war featuring Sting, Ricky Steamboat, Nikita Koloff, and the team of Dustin Rhodes and Barry Windham on one side with Rude, Steve Austin, Bobby Eaton, the Enforcers, Arn Anderson, and Larry Zbyszko on the other that culminated in a fantastic 5-star War Games clash. I need to watch War Games 91. I think I have that. I have that and like Wrestle War from like 89 and a couple other old like WCW pay-per-views on VHS if the tapes aren't like shredded. And number one, the NWO Hollywood versus the NWO Wolfpack. Yeah, we assume.
The good news is you can always watch it on the network.
Right? That's what I'm. Yeah,
I'm sad that Macho Man didn't get more. Like he was barely around for the NWO Wolfpack.
I know. Mm-hmm. And it was odd at first, but he like fit so well with those guys. Like it was. I just wish Hall. Like I don't know. Hall should have been over there, and I would have kicked Luger, or I would have kicked Conan back over to the fucking.
I agree.
Black and white, and taking Scott Hall over on this side, because you can't split peanut butter and jelly up, and that's what Hall and Nash were. You know. Yeah.
Who the hell decided that?
Let's see. Didn't Nash and them have the? Well, they all Nash and Hogan and Hall. I mean, most of those guys had creative control shit written into their contracts, so yeah, I don't know how I have to look back at how the booking all went.
That's fucking weird that they would have done that, because like they were together 24/7.
Because didn't they was it Ray in the fucking Wolfpack for a minute? I think at one point. I
thought he was.
No,
I'm trying to. What, he wasn't?
No, because he went LWO, didn't he?
Yeah, didn't Eddie force him into the LWO for a minute?
I think that's what you're thinking. Yeah, pretty sure.
Yeah. Because I can't fucking, I don't know. There's some of this shit I can't remember, but
we just need the Blue World Order back.
Well, they changed so much, but yeah, this is the number one on the list. We assume that most wrestling fans are at least familiar with the Finger Poke of Doom, the January 1999 Nitro match between Wolfpack leader Nash and returning NWO Hollywood Hogan. While it wasn't expected or advertised as the blow-off to the nearly year-long civil war within the Renegade stable, it provided one of the most unsatisfying conclusions to a hot angle in wrestling history. Still, during the summer of '98, WCW's business remained red hot, as two of its top babyfaces were arguably Goldberg and Kevin Nash. The tension built between Hogan and Nash, especially after Starrcade '97, was great booking, and their eventual clash, likely augmented by key associates like Sting, Randy Savage, Scott Hall, almost certainly would have drawn a tremendous pay-per-view buy rate. Ultimately, even with the, of course, because WCW type conclusion, if you were a fan in '98, you would understand why this is number one. Yeah, and that was terrible to see, but that's the list. I don't know. I still have nothing but love for WCW because I don't know.
Surprised
It
DX
was
wasn't on that list.
well, those were all WCW feuds though.
I know. I'm just saying.
God damn
I
it!
would
Stop
take
it! Stop it!
Wolfpack versus Hollywood over the OWN versus the NWO any day.
Oh yeah, the OW. Hogan brought Warrior in just so he could beat him. That was basically it. It's like, hey, I want my match back.
Hogan Triple H'd him.
He did. That dude, that mirror gimmick they did with Hogan and them was so cheesy, but it was fucking great. You know what I mean? Like Hogan, that was like the apex of Hogan's acting. Like out of everything he's been in outside of like Rocky, is Thunder Lips.
Yep.
Thundergash.
Thundergash. It was far better than Mr. Nanny.
Yes. So, let's go ahead and go around the gash, and we'll wrap it up for the night, ladies and gentlemen, because, man, those WCW stables, those fucking 1999 WCW stables, they hurt.
They hurt me so that I can't. I'm not even here right now. Just Mr. Bean. Mr. Beans. Yes. Here I am. All right. So, we've got Going Rogue tomorrow. Me, Tony, Kai MFS, Matt, a common idiot, will be there. And maybe Commander Cody will be joining us. But yeah, we'll have a good time tomorrow. I'm going to be recording about probably 4 or 5 videos tomorrow, which will be edited by my wonderful editor, Good Stuff Comic Skater. I'm also working on, I got to watch the first season of Heels, as I'll be doing a review of that for superfan Adam Shawhan for his Harvey Wokuian tier, which I'm going to set up the DM, the Twitter DM chat for the Wokuian tier members also. And we'll have Saturday night's main event this week, and it will be back at 9:05 Eastern, as I won't be appearing on that other Saturday night show, The Dump, which you should just watch us because I'm way better looking than Scott. I love you, Scott. But yeah, so we'll be doing that, and that's it. I'm trying to kick this cold out of me. I'm just taking my vitamins and going to bed. So this was fun. Thank you guys. Happy birthday again, Vinny. Hope you had a wonderful day, my brother. I love the hillbilly shark.
And snap, crackle, and gash.
Fucking snap, crackle, gash. I'm gonna show that to the wife. Check this out.
Yeah, I added you. I did it. Etep Wokuian's Place 3 reviews. So I don't know if you get notified or not. I don't know how this stupid thing works, but
I didn't see it on YouTube. I didn't get a tag notification. But thank you, Tony, and everybody. You guys in the chat are beautiful.
Hell yeah, man! Thank you.
Beautiful, sexy, hot.
That's right. Beautiful, sexy, hot, and then
Like
we got
Adam.
the birthday boy.
Oh, thank you.
I'm so glad you came on. Yeah, I'm not doing nothing. I don't care. I'm not going to plug anything. I just want to say happy birthday to Vinny. That's it. That's all. That's
Thanks,
important.
brother. I
It's your
appreciate
day,
that.
baby. Get this off of me. Put it on the birthday boy, Tony.
Huh, me?
Hell yeah! Let me just get over to this window again.
Super fan Adam Gashan.
Hey,
That's
you
right.
too, Tommy. Be well, brother.
All
Hail
about
Tommy.
the gash. Hail Tommy, dude. Love you, brother. Yeah. Check your. I think you're seeing it now. I just sent you a funny DM. I'm gonna tell the guys afterwards. But apparently I got another birthday gift, which is pretty funny. And thank you, Tommy. He sent me something too today, which was awesome. But had a pretty good day. Remember, folks, if you want to throw some extra support, I got a couple great projects. So supporting me, you also get to use something awesome. You got beautiful comic books. We got Shadow of the Kraken. We got Through the Woods, City of Venus, 2 art books. It's a beautiful thing. Huge, tremendous. You're going to love it. And anyone who's in the Florida area, if you're going to that West Palm Beach show called PalmCon, I'll be there on Saturday. So, stop by. If you want to say hello, if you want to buy some cool stuff. I will have variant covers to Shadow of the Kraken over there. I'm running low on them for the campaign itself, but I do have some that are specifically pulled aside for conventions, and then it's going to be a good thing. So get over there. You might get some extra breaks as well. You never know. It's a good thing. And support my channel. I think I should still be doing a show on Friday. I'm getting ready for the show. So, but yeah, I should still have something going on. And remember, you're not older. You're just more grumpy. But every year that goes by. But be kind to one another and kick ass while you create. While I stick my foot in Kathleen Kennedy's hoo-ha. Thank you, everyone. And remember to get a crack pillow, Mike Lindell.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you for coming on, bro, and happy birthday,
A
man.
pleasure. Dude, I was going to come on early, but like I said, I had a bit of a surprise anyway. But I watched all of Raw, and I was near the end of the WCW, so I might just finish it off anyway, because I saw it was a Piper match or something. Looks like he might go and... Did he get the belt? I think he got the belt. I don't know. I'll rewatch that end part because I missed it. And,
Yeah, that was the best part of Nitro for sure. Was the end there?
Oh hell yeah! So I'll go back and watch that. But I was almost there. The other show was entertaining too, man. It was a lot of fun.
Raw was
go ahead.
like the production value and everything was cool. You know, it was different.
Yeah, like I said, it felt like one of those old boxing matches or something, the kind of smokiness. But even the camera work, I like what they did with the camera work on a lot of that.
Yeah.
Same
good. Here, the camera angles and just everything. And we were watching it. Turns out it was, taped from January 31st. So what, Monday was the 3rd. So that was like a Thursday night show or something like that. But
right,
it was still interesting. I liked it. I liked the
absolutely,
feel of it.
Oh,
like
shit.
every house show I've ever been at,
Shit, I forgot something, man.
What?
I forgot. Tomorrow afternoon at 1 p.m., I'm interviewing Jamie Pinder. So that'll be up.
Nice.
That women's physique pro. She is the let's see. Her channel, her YouTube channel is called Cats, Clits, and Clen. Yeah, so I'll be sitting down with her tomorrow afternoon at 1 p.m. and we'll be recording that, and I'll have that uploaded probably Thursday. I'm gonna drop that for channel members first. But yeah, I forgot. Oh, Jesus Christ! I'm like, how did I let that fucking slip my mind? I got it in my calendar, but I forgot to mention it. I'm sorry.
You said that was Gash Gifts and Garments?
Yes.
Okay.
So did that's what Big Head told me over there. I don't mean Mr.
Gash,
B.
clits, and fists.
Fist.
Yep. And guys, I've been busy, like real busy. So sorry I haven't dropped any like single release videos, but I'll be doing them soon. I should be dropping some Zelda ones because that shit was exciting today. Also, the Sony State of Play was pretty good. There's this game, it kind of was reminding me of the Ghost of Tsushima. Like, I didn't really get to see the gameplay on it, but just the story, the trailer itself. It was called Rise of the Ronin, and that's a PlayStation like first party game too.
Nice.
Like a Sony Interactive Studio game or whatever the hell.
Yeah, I was watching a little bit of Lethal earlier, and I saw that part. Lethal Lightning's channel. Yeah, he was watching some of that stuff. Yeah, that does look good.
Yeah.
Anything that has to do with like feudal Japan and shit.
Yes. So, good times. We had a State of Play today. We had a Nintendo Direct. Both shows, they were okay, not bad at all. They're bringing all the Resident Evil, including Resident Evil 8 Village, to the Nintendo Switch via Cloud Play, which I think is cool. I think it's cool that they're able to do that. Like, they're able to take games that are beyond the Switch's hardware and make them playable just as long as you have an internet connection, because it keeps a bunch of the shit on the cloud or whatever the Nintendo can't process. That's kind of cool. So it like beams the game to your console.
I
Yeah,
think
so
I'm gonna have to eventually get something like that because like you guys are selling me on that Switch thing.
dude. Okay,
I know,
so
right?
a PlayStation or an Xbox is more powerful, but Switch is like my favorite console. It's just the portability of it, to be able to take your game and bring it wherever. I was working security for a while, 12-hour shifts, and I just bring my Switch with me and play fucking Nintendo games all night, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I like. It's like, imagine if you were able to bring your PS4 anywhere you went and like just play it like it's a Game Boy or something. So good times. Also, I was telling Etep they're adding a whole bunch of Nintendo 64 games onto the online section of it. They already have a lot of N64 games, but they're here, let me find what games they're adding.
Hell yeah. I saw 007. They're doing GoldenEye.
Yeah, that was the big reveal, is GoldenEye. They're also adding on They're adding on Pilot Wings, Mario Party 1, 2, and 3. This one's for Superfan. Pokemon Stadium 1 and 2.
Woohoo!
Excite Bike 64. And then a little snowboarding game that I happen to love called 1080. So, looking forward to that. And that's along with everything they already have on there. They already have like 15 Nintendo.
You might be thinking you're joking, but it's Squirtle power, baby. Squirtle.
1080 was a fucking badass game. I don't know if you guys ever played it back in the day. 1080. But yeah.
Oh, dude, I've got 1080 snowboarders. I still play that shit.
I fucking love that game.
Dude, it's fun.
Star Fox 64, which they already have on there. That's a fucking classic. Like, that's the thing with Nintendo. We lost the whole audience when I started talking about Nintendo 64. That's the thing with Nintendo. They kind of got out of the whole, well, we want to have the most powerful console after the GameCube, and just said, let's just start making fun games. Let's just start making, because look, it's like, there's a reason why live action Lion King and Aladdin and shit doesn't work. Some things are meant to be a little more cartoony. They're meant to be animated. I don't want to watch the Lion King. It's like, well, this is what it would really look like. You lose the magic of it.
Exactly.
And that's the thing with certain video games too. Now, if I'm playing a football game, yeah, I want it to look realistic. But if I am playing The Legend of Zelda, there can be a cel-shaded, animated quality to it. That's just, that's a lot of the fun for me. So, something about Nintendo, I'd like to say they were the Disney of video games, but they're better than Disney. Like, they don't fuck around. They don't fucking buy into any fucking agendas. They just want to make family-friendly, fun content that brings people together, whether it's Mario Kart or Switch Sports or just all these multiplayer games. They just want to kind of bring people together to have a good time. And in this day and age, there aren't many companies that do that. So, hail to them. Fuck Sony of America. With their, like, Sony Japan is cool, but Sony of America is really pushing the woke shit and fucking no good. So, and then of course you have Xbox, which is owned by Bill Gates. So that's all you need to know. They're infected from the top down there. So, yeah, the point is, I'm really looking forward to a lot of the stuff coming up with Nintendo, especially The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. 35 years, been a fan, and I'm going to continue to be a fan till the day I die. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us tonight. Remember, They are not pop culture. They are agenda. We are pop culture. I didn't think of an outro to play, and I forgot to play the fucking background music. There we go.
Damn it.
There we go.
Wait, hang on. There it is. Where's my gimmick here? Do I still have it? Yes. I got my Zelda background.
Ladies and gentlemen, they are not pop culture. They are agenda. We are pop culture. And we will see you sometime later.
You wrinkly old fuck!
Aye!
Booker T, hair done by Whoopi Shaming Man!